Hello there. Welcome to SmartGence Training. So this session is on role hierarchy in Salesforce. So about roles, it would increase the data visibility of the particular user, and the user can see the records depending on their role hierarchy, and in a way it control the data access of the records. So basically it would define the record level access. So these 4 points are kind of intertwined. I'll explain it more in detail with the help of the next slide. Okay, so a few aspects of roles are, roles would come into play if the security model, which means, org wide defaults are set to private. So what is this org wide default is basically, we can define the access of the records, like whom it could be accessed by and stuff like that at the org wide default. So if it is being set to private, then only the owner would be able to, see and edit the records. In addition to the owner, it would, the role would come into play then. So if the user is above the record owner in the hierarchy, then he would also have access to that particular record. So now the previous slide kind of makes sense, right? So let's dig it deep with an example. Like, let's say we have user A at the top of the hierarchy, role hierarchy, user B next to him, and user Z below user B. Okay, so user B has created a record for which, he is the owner, right? And OWD for that particular object. So we will be setting this object to org wide default OWD at object level. Okay, so OWD for that object is set to private. So that means that only user B would be able to have access to that record, right? So since user A is above the hierarchy, above user B in the hierarchy, he would also have access to that particular record. Whereas user C, since him being below user B in the hierarchy, he would not be able to. So this is where, roles come into play. And finally, roles are not mandatory for a user basically. So while setting up a user, we may provide the role or we may not. So it's up to us based on the, business need. Okay. So this is an example hierarchy. So let's take a real-time example of a college. So we will be having the college team. So under him in the role hierarchy, we'll be having principal and VP vice principal. Then under them there will be HODs, and under HOD there will be several professors, right? So similarly, if we take a business scenario, then there will be the company's president. So under company's presidents, there will be CFO, COO, and CTO. So under CFO, there may be some team members. Under COO, there may be team members, and under CTO, there may be few team members. So this is, more like this is how a role hierarchy would work in a business model. And based on the business model, we'll be setting up the same in Salesforce as well. So let us now have a quick demo on how this role hierarchy has to be set up and how this would work. So now demo on roles, right? So firstly, let's see how this role hierarchy in this org. Okay, so for that we have to navigate to setup, and in quick find, if we search for role, it will be available under users. So let me navigate to this role. So this is just information on role. So we can just click on the setup roles button, and here we'll be able to see this our organization's role hierarchy. We have this expand all right. So when I click on this, every single role will be expanded to its subsequent roles. Okay, so as you could see over here, CEO at top, CFO, then team member. So on the same level of CFO, there is COO, SVP, where there are different roles, right? So let's take this, consider this hierarchy: CEO, CFO, and team member. So what we have is we have three different users. One user with role as CEO, and other William Jones as CFO, and Natalia Brown as team member, right? So if you could see, all these three roles have the same profile, manager. Okay, so and the org wide default for the position object. So as we have seen in the presentation, let's take the same example of the position object. So as you could see over here, org wide default OWD for this position object is set to private, and you can see this grant access using hierarchies, right? So only if this checkbox being checked, then the role hierarchy would work. So as we have seen, like the user upper in the hierarchy of considering the record owner would be able to see that particular record. So that particular condition would work only this grant access using hierarchies being set to checked, and as you could see, this is checked right now. Okay, So let us try creating a record as CFO, who is the middle user in this hierarchy, and let's see how it works for CEO and team member. Okay, so right now William Jones is CFO, right? So let me log in as this user. Since me being the system admin, I will be able to log in as different users. So let me navigate to this position. So yeah, before that, at profile level, we have full crit permission for this position object. So position, as you could see, there is already one record which is created by William. Where William Jones himself is the owner. Let us create a new one, maybe. So team lead, company name. Let me give it as SmartGence. I'm saving this. So there are two different records in position object. One is senior developer and team lead, which was owned by William Jones. Okay. So let me now log out. And now what we can do is let us try logging in as a team member who is below CFO in role hierarchy. Okay. So team member is Natalia Brown. Let me log in as Natalia Brown. So yes, navigating to this positions, that is already over here. So positions, all, as you could see, there are none. This is even the two records which was owned by William Jones is not being able to, is not being able to accessible by, is not being able to accessed by Natalia Brown. So this is because she is under, who William Jones in the role hierarchy, and it seems like she doesn't own any records, so that is why she is not able to see any records over here. But yeah, as you could see, she would be able to create a new one. Maybe let's try creating a new one. Uh, Senior tester. So company name, SmartGence again. I'm saving this. As you could see, she's able to create a new one. And when I navigate back to positions and in all list view, yeah, I'll be able to see the record which is owned by her. So let us now log in as CEO, who is on the top in the role hierarchy, considering CFO and team member, and see how it works for. So CEO is Tom Howard, logging in as Tom Howard. So we have to navigate to this positions object, positions, all. As you could see, there are four different records. Two owned by William Jones, which you have seen when we logged in as William Jones, one which was created right there, and one created by Natalia Brown herself just now, and one which was owned by Tom Howard. This has been a record which was earlier for a long time. So he is able to see all the three records which was owned by the users whom are under him in the role hierarchy. So this is how roles would work in Salesforce. Thank you and happy learning.